So, this is basically going to be me talking at you for a while to get you all caught up. Because D&D starts tomorrow, baby. So I'm doing an episode 0.5 to catch you up to speed on our character. Or my character, I guess. There's 4 players in our party. I guess I'll start there. It's me, TML. Can you do artistic narration in paint? No. No, I'm not going to do artistic narration in paint. You really want me to... Paint. Alright. Fine. Fuck it. I'm not above opening paint. Bigger one. There we go. Alright, what's good? There's 4 of us. There's me. That's me. Next is TML. You guys have met TML before. TML is from GTA. Yeah. So he'll be there. He's playing a character in our campaign. And then we have Buzz. Buzz is TML's best friend in real life, I guess. I met him yesterday. He seems really cool. I'm excited to play with him. He's fun. And then Serio, who was Jason Tate in GTA. Not Buzz Lightyear. Close, though. Similar people. I think he might be related, possibly. I don't remember. But yeah, so Serio plays Jason Tate in GTA. And then our dungeon master is none other than Corporal Tunnel, or JP from GTA. Remember the old guy who never wore shoes? He's our dungeon master, bruh. So he's the dungeon master for that. He's during my session 0, where I was kind of just learning how Roll20 works and getting my character imported and that kind of stuff. There was a little bit of RP in there. We played for a little bit, and he is a very good dungeon master. So I'm very excited to run a full campaign with him at the head of the ship there. So yeah, it's going to be very fucking cool. The campaign is called Project Shellback. And if you don't know what a shellback is, chat room, a shellback is someone who crosses the equator. If a sailor crosses the equator, they are called a shellback. So I assume, given that in my session 0 I boarded a boat, that we will probably all be starting out. I'm pretty sure we're all going to start out on the boat and we'll be sailing across the equator and then become shellbacks, by doing that. So it's really cool. I'm excited. I don't want to leak anything, so I'm going to open it real quick and make sure that we're on the main page. I was hoping for turtles. I'm sure there will be. I'm sure there will be turtles. Toitle. Yeah. All right. Cool. So I'm not leaking anything if I show it. It's on the main page. So I'll close paint. This is Roll20. This is what we're going to be using to play. I have an overlay for it that I made. Hold up. There it is. There we go. That's much better. So we should have, you should be able to see the game in the big square here. You can see me in the corner. And then this little chat box I have set up so that if I if I roll a d20 there, you guys see it above me. So that's how that's gonna look. These are the 4 characters that we're all playing to start out. My character is Zaramond Shadowbringer. Roll a d100. Okay, fine. 1d100. 54. Zaramond is a tiefling from Hell. One of the Hells specifically. So our character, chat, or mine, is Zaramond. He is a prince from Hell. So his father is like I don't want to necessarily spoil who he is specifically for you, but he's a big deal. We're from Dis, which is the second layer of Hell. It is basically I recognize that character. I probably used him in something else or something like that. I've had him on the back burner for a while. I'm finally getting to play him. So, Dis is called the Walled City. It's in the second layer of Hell, and it's a big ass city full of devils. Yeah, we are a lawful evil devil from Hell. We're playing a cleric, so we use spells and like maces and shit. You can look up a full list if you want to. It doesn't really matter. This is more of me stuff anyway. But I have my spells all picked out for level 1 and everything. I can swap them around whenever I long rest. So whenever the party does a long rest, I can choose to like pray, and then when I'm praying, I can swap out my spells to whatever I want from this big ass list. Did his father banish him? Yes. So let me get into that then, I suppose. Zaramond, starting off in session 0, after a fight with his father, he 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 1. No. What are you talking about? Ugh. What, do you have a copy of the character sheet, TNT, from when we were doing D&D stuff back then? I could probably open this folder. Because it's different now. All of his stuff from this character sheet is a little different. But you probably have a copy of the PDF or something. But yeah, this is the same character sheet you have, I think, but it's different. But yeah, this is a full picture. Art was commissioned by me. That's the character I was going to use before. Yeah, I know. I'm using him now. But yeah, so this is Zaramond. Like I said, he was on the back burner for a while. He's a prince from Hell. He talks in a very posh way, so I'm going to do like a fancy voice. He sounds like a weird combination of like Vegeta combined with like Stewie Griffin. Like, what the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like it's a very noble sounding posh voice. He sounds very hoity-toity and fancy. British, yeah. A water bottle. Yeah. So we'll be I'll be doing that voice there. This is the token art. Let me hop back on here real quick, and I'll take a look at everybody else's character just to show you. I haven't actually seen Serio's character yet. I'm loading. So we have June, who's played by TML. He's a Tabaxi, so he's basically a Khajiit from Skyrim. That's that. Aroth, he's a Dragonborn Paladin, I believe. So he's gonna be like, he's the good guy. Music playing? Yeah, there is. And then Serio, I don't know what his class is, but it looks like he's a human barbarian, probably. I think that's what JP was gonna try to get him to play. But yeah, so this is that so far. Let's go into the details a little bit, huh? Shall we? So, in our bio and info for Zaramond, I kind of just wrote a little summary. So it's just like, he's a very uptight, noble-looking tiefling. He's red and semi-long purple hair. Or he has red skin and semi-long purple hair. He's a very noticeable golden bracer near the end of his tail. So, one thing that was established in Session 0 is that Zaramond would have a royal bracer on his tail, signifying his house's insignia. So, it's not in the artwork, but he does have it. He has a very expensive looking bracer near the end of his tail that would have a little marker telling, if anyone knew what they were talking about hell wise, they could tell what part of hell I was from and what family I was from, which is either good for me or bad for me, because usually people that know that much stuff about hell are the kind of people that are going to try to like rip me open and use my blood for incantations, which is the whole downside of being from hell, which is that I'm a very rare resource for spell making. These are our stats. So I have a -1 in strength, and everything else is pretty balanced out. Our charisma's 20. I re-rolled all my stats because I felt like that'd be more fun. For Session 0, I didn't start with any items or anything. I had to... we started with a certain amount of gold that we rolled for, and then we went through and we bought stuff in the store during like the tutorial Session 0 thing. So Zaramond bought a crystal, an orb, a backpack, an amulet, a mirror, some perfume, and then he got soap and a potion of healing, because when he bought all of the above things, he paid double. Because, okay, so when I was in the store buying things from the shopkeeper, I asked him the price of something, and he was like, "Oh, you couldn't afford it." And Zaramond was like, "You're damn right I could." You know, like a, "What do you mean? I'm not poor," kind of thing. So he paid double for all of his items above, and then the shopkeeper was so thankful that he gave him a bar of soap and a potion of healing. So that was cool. Let me see. The core stuff isn't super important. The ideals for Zaramond as a character. He's trying to look his best because he thinks he's the most attractive thing on the planet. He doesn't get his hands dirty. He's going to try to stay out of combat as much as possible and be like, "You're doing great. Keep it up. I'm back here. Good luck, guys." You know, that kind of thing. But he also has a strong need for power because he's evil. So he wants to become as powerful as he can to go back to hell. So basically, Zaramond back in hell did not apply himself, and his dad banished him from hell to the overworld to kind of learn and hopefully learn to apply himself better in hell when he comes back. If he comes back, his dad doesn't really care. That's one of the big things, is that Zaramond's father is in a position of power so high that he does not give a shit, for the most part, about Zaramond at all. Which is probably part of the reason why he didn't apply himself, but that's neither here nor there. I'll face any challenge to win the approval of my family. So basically, it's like, if Dad's watching, Zaramond is going to try his hardest to look his best and do his best. that kind of thing. So he's gonna show off if he feels that his father might hear about it, that kind of thing. And then his flaw is that he believes everyone else is beneath him, and that comes from him being noble, from hell and things like that. He just thinks he is the shit, which is going to cause for some really funny interaction just in general. During the tutorial, Zaramond walked up to the portmaster at the port, and when they were having a conversation, the portmaster called him a fiend, and because Zaramond knows that is slang for like a devil, he was offended by it because you would be. So he got offended by that, and he told the portmaster to kneel for him. Hydrate. God fucking damn. All right, I'll get water. Hold on. I'll be right back. I'm going. But yeah. All right, so the portmaster was super rude to Zaramond, and he told him to kneel. To which the portmaster was like, "Hell no, I'm not gonna kneel to you, fiend," and then called the guards. The guards showed up, and I'm not unleashing Chungus right now. I'll play it at the end or something. Toasted, but I'm not doing that right now. I'm not gonna try to talk over Big Chungus song. I'll play it later, but not right now. That's another thing too. During D&D, I won't be talking to chat. Probably. I mean, maybe I'll like mute myself and talk to you guys if it's like important, or somebody subs to thank it or whatever. But when I play D&D, I'm going to be focused on the game, which is why I think it might not be super good on stream, and I might not keep streaming it. I don't know. It'll depend on how into it you guys get. Maybe you'll love the story and get into it, and it'll be okay. I don't know. But yeah, chat won't be the focus of D&D. The focus of D&D will be me playing D&D. But yeah. Let me see. So, as a cleric, we can ritual cast. We have Blessing of the Trickster, which is really cool. So, starting when you choose this domain at first level, you can use your action to touch a willing creature other than yourself to give it advantage on a dex check. This blessing lasts for 1 hour. Pog. Specifically stealth. Okay, so it's a stealth check. So it's like sleight of hand or something. Give it advantage on a dex check. This blessing lasts for an hour. Oh, okay, yeah. So we can just have stealth check and advantage because we are a willing creature, so we can just do that for ourselves. We have dark vision, so we can see in the dark, which is cool. We're from Dis, so we have Legacy of Dis. You know the Thaumaturgy cantrip? When you reach the 3rd level, you can cast a Disguise Self spell once with this trait and regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. When you reach the 5th level, you can cast a Detect Thoughts spell once with this trait and regain the ability to do so when you finish a long rest. Cool. Okay, so I'll learn at 3rd level. I'll learn Disguise Self, even though I already have it, I believe, because of the Trickery domain. I'm 90% sure I already have Disguise Self, but at 5th level I get Detect Thoughts. That'll be huge. Position of privilege is just from being a noble. Noble birth, people are inclined to think the best of you. You're welcome in high society, and people assume you have the right to be wherever you are. Blah, blah, blah. That's cool. Behold Belephos is labeled as other because this was something that JP sent over to me after session 0. Now, this is really cool. It's this thing right here. I'll read it to you and show you the picture. There's that picture. Your dreams are filled with the screams of suffering souls. Though most would be unsettled by this, you bathe in their soft cadence. But as you settle in, you feel the hot sulfuric breath of a pit fiend over you. You know this one. His name is Belephos, a particularly intelligent and overly ruthless demon compared to others of his kind. His desire for conquest over the hells is well known to all people of Dis. Having laid siege to the city in its past, he now stares at you. Not with menace, but smiling, if a pit fiend is even capable of such a thing. So we're being watched over by Belephos right now. When we dream. Or just in general, we're being watched by him, but we see him when we dream. So that's cool. A pit fiend is like watching us. He's basically like a babysitter, I think. The way JP explained it to me is that if I was banished by my father to the overworld, he doesn't care if I come back necessarily, but he would have somebody watch. And Pit Fiend is the somebody. So Belephos, the Pit Fiend, is watching over us. Also, if you read up on Belephos, he is a Pit Fiend who is just trying to escape hell any way possible. So he may try to take advantage of us at some point, which could be fun roleplay. We'll probably fucking die, though. If we fought Belephos, we'd die. But it'd be some cool roleplay. Who knows? Who knows what'll happen? But Belephos is cool. Other than that, that's pretty much the character of Zaramond himself. This is the overlay I'm going to use. It's pretty simple, but I think it gets the job done pretty well. It gets you guys enough space. The only thing I wanted to ask you guys, is this big enough above me here? Like when I do rolls and stuff, can you guys see them and everything? Like, does that look okay for you? Like you can see what's happening? Hopefully. Somebody tell me if I gotta make it bigger. Little bigger would be nice. Maybe a little bigger. Okay. See, I can't tell because it's all how would that be? Would that be better? That's good. Okay. If you make it any bigger, it'll be blurry as shit. Okay. There we go. And then that still shows all of that. That's fine. I would like to have this go over a tiny bit. See, if we do all this, this is why I'm doing a 0.5, because I want to make sure everything looks good before I go live tomorrow, because when I go live tomorrow, I'm just going to fucking play D&D. I don't want everything to I don't want everything to be going to shit. Last thing I want is fucking technical difficulties on my session 1. There you go. Cool. That gets that done. I think that's pretty... Why is it called Shellback? So, actually, you weren't here for the first part. Shellbacks are... A shellback is the name for a sailor who crosses the equator. So it's called Project Shellback because we'll be sailing across the equator, most likely. I played a session 0, which was basically a tutorial, and by the end of it, I was on a boat. So it's about an imposter on a boat. Yeah. We're probably the imposter. We're from hell. But yeah, that's my recap, I guess, as you caught up. I'm trying to think of anything else I could catch you up on, but not really. I mean, let me see. I have a writ of passage. It's basically a piece of paper I had to get during the tutorial episode, which was basically just like, you're not a fugitive. You can travel across the ocean on this boat. I was given that for free by a man who hated me so much he didn't want to ever see me again. Oh, also, we're banned from that port city that we're leaving, by the way. Zaramon got himself... we got brought to court for arguing with the portmaster. We told him to, like, kneel in front of us or whatever. And then he called the guards, and the guards brought us in front of a judge. Or, like, the magistrate, I think is what JP said. So the magistrate was basically like... hey, you have to leave the town and not come back. And I was like, okay, will do. He's like, okay, you have a day to leave and not come back. And I was like, all right, consider it done, dog. And then we left, and then I used disguise self to look like the magistrate, and then I walked back over to the portmaster again, and I tried to throw him into the ocean. And when I tried to throw him over the dock into the ocean, I failed the roll, and then I ended up with him realizing who I was, because I think I tried to cast a spell, and I failed the sleight of hand on the spell. So he saw me cast the spell, and then after he saw me cast the spell, he was like, oh, it's you. So then I tried to play the part of the magistrate and tell the guards to take... So basically, the guards walk over because they hear us yelling at each other. I look like I'm the magistrate, and the portmaster is himself. And the guards come over, and the portmaster's yelling for them to arrest me, and I'm yelling for them to arrest the portmaster. And they're like, well, we're on the port, so we're going to do what the portmaster says. And then as soon as that happens, I'm like, crap. And then I get rid of my disguised self, and that throws them off. And they're like, wait, what? You're that guy? And then I jump into the water off of the dock. But Zaramon's from hell, right? So he has never seen water before, let alone swam in it. So I hit the water like a bag of bricks, and I sink. And I do a couple like acrobatics checks and things like that. And eventually Zaramon learns that he can't breathe water. And he gets back up, and he like doggy paddles, and then he gets to He gets to a dinghy, and he uses the dinghy to go all the way out to this ship next to the dock. I climb up onto the ship, and then the captain comes over and is like, "Hey, you can't be here." It's like, "Do you have a rite of passage?" And I'm like, "I don't have one. I don't want to go back. Save me from them." And then the captain goes over and he's like, he like talks to them or whatever. And then I walk over with the captain, and the portmaster's there, and he gives me a writ of passage for free. And he basically says, "I'm sick of you. Never come back." Because, you can't sail out of the port without a writ of passage. So I wouldn't be able to leave without one. So yeah, that happened in my session 0. And then basically that was the end of session 0 because I was established as part of the crew on board. So Zaramond, as of right now, is standing on a ship pretending to mop because he doesn't want to. Because he's noble. He's like, "Don't you have servants for this?" And they're like, "Yeah, it's you. Get to work." Throws mop at you. So yeah, that's the character. And that's the story so far. It should be tomorrow around 9:30 Eastern. I think the planned time is 9:30 Eastern. And it should go for like 3 or 4 hours. Man's went hell is fine. Fuck chores. Yeah, because he's noble in hell. So he has servants and shit there. In hell, Zaramond is a noble and he's a prince, right? So Zaramond in hell has a lot of people that will do things for him instead of having to do it himself. So he's never done anything before. He's never applied himself to anything. He's supposed to be the ruler after his dad goes away or dies or whatever. But he hasn't applied himself at all. So his dad banished him to the overworld to try to like make something of himself, basically. So yeah, that's the story so far, bro. So this campaign starts tomorrow night. Should be roughly 9:30 Eastern. I'll probably go live at like 9 ish, maybe a little bit earlier. Actually, I'm supposed to be home around like 5:36 tomorrow, so I might play something else beforehand. I don't know. I'll be around tomorrow for sure. I might like eat food beforehand and stuff. By the time I get on my computer and I'm hanging out, we'll see how much time we have left. But D&D will be at 9:30 Eastern on Thursdays for the foreseeable future. Yeah, that's right. A scheduled Clay stream at least once a week. Monka Omega. So yeah, that's that. I'm excited to play. I can't wait. He would never do that, I know. If it doesn't work out as something that so the focus of D&D is going to be me playing D&D. I'm streaming it because I really want the story to be saved and also just out there for people to have access to. I also want you guys to enjoy the story as well, because with the people I'm playing with, it looks like we're going to make a really good and funny and entertaining story to watch. That's always been the focus of roleplay games and things for me, is that I want to create a story that people enjoy watching. So with you guys watching, I think it'll be something that I get to put a lot more effort into making this story fun and entertaining. That being said, I'm excited. And I can't wait for tomorrow, where I will be a devil from hell who can't swim in the middle of the ocean on a boat. What could possibly go wrong? Smiley face. But yeah, that's what I got for you. Does chat have any questions for me that are D&D related at all? I think I went over everything I have. I showed you Behold Bellefoss, so you guys know that Zeramon dreams of his pit fiend that's watching him. I showed you kind of all of our abilities. We can go over spells I have, I guess. I have Thaumaturgy, Sacred Flame, Resistance, Guidance, Charm Person, Disguise Self, and Inflict Wounds. Yep. Will tankers be added at some point? What do you mean? Tankers is enabled in my chat. Will they ever meet him? I'm not the dungeon master. We're playing JP's story. I don't fucking know. I know that JP has been putting a lot of time and effort into this. Or not JP. His name is Ben. I keep calling him JP because it's a character I know him for. But his name's Ben. But yeah. It's not that Ben. Not that Ben Toasted. It's a different Ben. It's a different Ben. It's a different Ben. Anyway. He's put a lot of fucking time and effort into making this so far. And I know he's going to do good by us because he's been fucking working his ass off. He's a really good dude. I like him a lot. I'm excited to play in his campaign. And he was gracious enough to be like, you should. I asked him permission to stream, and he's like, oh yeah, TML's going to stream. And I was like, I know, but still, I want to ask you before I do it. And he's like, honestly, I want you to stream because it's more fun if people can watch. And I'm like, okay, thanks, bud. And he encouraged me to stream. I wasn't going to until JP was like, you should stream it. You definitely should. And I was like, all right. You've convinced me. I'm going to stream it. So you can thank him for these first couple D&D streams. And then I'm going to see how they do. If people like them, I'll keep doing it for as long as I play D&D. If people don't like them, then I'll end up probably not streaming them and just enjoying it myself instead, which is fine. We'll see what happens. I'm hoping that people like it and they hang out, because I really enjoy roleplay and I really enjoy D&D. It's just such a good setting. So yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. That's the recap. We did it. 10 out of 10 recap. Would recap again.